Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Pages to Pixels podcast. I'm Kirtana.
I'm Rohan.
And in this little bonus episode, we are going to talk about the IIFA Awards 2025. The IIFA Awards are one of the biggest award ceremonies that happen in the Indian film industry. Um, it it's the International Indian Film Academy Awards. And every year it's a big spectacle. They just
Yeah.
happen over the last weekend, and
Mhm.
we're excited to talk about them.
And specifically, they focus on the Hindi films.
Did you get a chance to check it out, or did you watch like clips and stuff that came out?
No, actually, I did not check out their ceremony at all. I kind of just checked out the awards, and then every now and then I would just see like stuff that popped up, like when Shahid Kapoor and Kareena Kapoor were standing next to each other. It's like, oh, Jab We Met.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
That is
So I saw that stuff. I just kind of, but most of what I did was go on Wikipedia, look up what the awards and nominees are.
So you did hear what the biggest event of the night was.
No.
That is like it's the Shahid Kareena meeting. They haven't talked to each other in like 10 years. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, you missed out because this happened. It was very exciting. I'm very into all the gossip and the backstories and the drama and the award ceremonies. So I quite enjoyed the show. I also really enjoyed all of Shah Rukh Khan's performances. I mean, I might be a little biased. I have been in love with this man since I was a child, but I thought the clips that I saw, the clips that started to surface of his performances were great, and then the ceremony itself was really, really cool.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those clips in like just my Instagram feed, but it was like it was usually like just like 10 seconds at a time, and I didn't have any like kind of context. And we kind of did design it that way explicitly. We wanted to talk about the awards with the context of one of us who watched the ceremony, and which being you, oops, and then one of us being myself who did not watch the ceremony. But yeah, I mean, so I guess good ceremony overall. Or
It was fun. Like I'm a big sucker for all of this because I remember when I was a kid, I think it was 2007 or 2008, and there was this one ceremony that Shah Rukh Khan and Saif Ali Khan hosted. I think it was Filmfare that year, and I rewatched that thing. I rewatched that thing every time it came back on TV. So like I'm very enamored by this world. So I think my opinion is a little colored. So I had a fun time.
Yeah, I remember actually being able to get the ceremonies on DVD, and that's how I watched them.
Yep, good times, huh?
Yeah.
These things are like 3 hours long. I can't believe I had the time to rewatch that stuff. But no, it's great fun. The humor worked for me as a child. I think that kind of talks about the overall like general quality of the humor in these shows. But no, it's a fun time. The performances are nice. They really go all out, and they have like fireworks and
Yeah.
and all.
And it's very interesting when you compare it to the Oscars, where the Oscars, if they have performances, it'll be like usually for the original songs, and the singers will perform that. But then you have IIFA and Filmfare, where they usually just bring out the actors, and they're the ones kind of doing a dance.
Yeah, they're definitely more indulgent, I would say, than the award ceremonies we have out here. You can also buy tickets to the stuff, like as a common
Bad.
regular person. Yeah, and it's like expensive. Like it's a lot of money. People pay a lot of money to go and
Yeah.
be at these shows. In fact, there was one a while ago where a segment in the show was like an audience interaction thing where the host went down to the gallery and he started asking people how much money they paid for their tickets and why they paid that much money. And some of those numbers were like pretty crazy. Some people paid about like $6,000 for one of those tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And he said he came to see Deepika Padukone. I remember it very clearly. I'm sure that the clip exists somewhere on the internet. Uh, so yeah, no, the film industry there is great.
All right. Why don't we get into the actual awards and nominees and our thoughts? I mean, let's just start with Best Picture. I'll read the winner. I won't read every single nominee, just for time. And the winner of Best Picture was Lapta Ladies. So, what's your thought on the Lapta Ladies winning, and then also maybe the field of competitors that it had?
I mean, I loved Labata Ladies, so I'm not upset at all by the win. But I will say that I feel like a lot of great stuff that came out this year is missing from the nominee list.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I think Lapta Ladies was the best Hindi movie last year, and I think it deserved this win. My issue is the other movies that are nominated. I mean, Article 370, I mean, I guess fine, it was technically well made, but I do feel it is. I don't think that's a good movie. I feel like it's very propagandist. If you want more details, we did an episode of this a while back. 3-2, it's fine. Bhul Bhulaiya, I
Yeah,
don't.
that's
What is it doing
yeah.
there?
I know because it definitely feels like it's a studio film that just got like lobbied onto that list.
Yeah,
Because I'm seeing how many times it was nominated, and it's nominated for a bunch of things. And
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I just think
there's. Sorry,
go on.
I was
There's
just
just
gonna
more
say.
talent out to be recognized.
I mean, I just think that there's better movies out there. Bakshak was great. Merry Christmas, Jigra.
Yes.
I think all three of those, like, I would immediately add. I haven't seen Kill yet, but I have heard good things, and it actually got quite a bit of acclaim worldwide. So I'm just gonna assume that it's probably deserving of that nomination.
Yeah, Kill I have heard mixed reviews about. But it also did, I think, I think it played at IFLA last year. And that's when I think Lionsgate bought it. But yes,
Okay.
Kill did do well in the world outside.
So the best director is Kiran Rao for Lap the Ladies. This one I'm actually gonna disagree with. I still, again, what I said was I think Lap the Ladies was the best Hindi movie last year. But I think the best director was actually someone who wasn't even nominated, which is Vasan Bala for Jigra. I think I think that movie is script wise, it's good and all that. The acting's great. The acting in Slap the Ladies is also great. But then there's just a unique style that Vasan Bala injects in every line of dialogue and every single scene, and just all the different aspects, whether it's cinematography, the acting, the music. I think just the way that everything was dialed up to the extreme, but also balanced well enough that it never became a distraction.
Right.
I think because of that, I would have personally nominated and awarded Vasan Bala.
I see your point. I'm very partial towards Labata Ladies, so I'm going to disagree there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's the better movie. It deserves Best Picture.
I will say that I'm surprised to see Siddharth Anand there for Fighter.
Yeah.
It was I did love Fighter, so it was interesting to see that on there. But the jury has its reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
So moving on to Best Actor and Actress, Karthik Aaryan won for Bhool Bhulaiya 3, and Natanshi Goel won for Lapata Ladies. I was not happy with the Bhool Bhulaiya 3 win.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's his best performance. Like I think he's done better in other films himself.
Yeah.
And Rajkumar Rao was snubbed for Shrikant, which was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Also, like Sparsh Srivastava for Lapata Ladies. Both of those I thought were really cool performances.
So my issue with Sparsh Srivastava is that I don't look at him as a lead.
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, he should be in the supporting actor category.
Yeah. No, that's Totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did you think of the Best Actress nominees?
Best Actress, I think Nitanshi Goyal was quite. It was quite great. I have some issues with her character. Nothing has to do with her performance. So I think she was very, very good. I think you could have also given it to Alia Bhatt for Jigra, but I'm kind of happy with Nitanshi winning it. Alia Bhatt has probably won other awards, I'm assuming, and she will probably win more down the line. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, very true. I see Katrina Kaif for Merry Christmas. Don't know about that one either. But yeah, no. I was very happy for Nitanshi Goyal.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say Yami Gautam should have taken it. I'm going to disagree with that one. I think her performance is very one note, just like angry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Moving on to the Best Supporting Actor and Actress, Ravi Kishan won it for Lapata Ladies, and Janki Bodiwala won it for Shaitan. Did you watch Shaitan?
I did not. I ended up missing this one.
Yeah. I'm not a horror person, but I did watch Shaitan, and I thought it was terrifying, and I thought she was great in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Ravi Kishan deserved it for Lapta Ladies. I thought he was great. And again, I haven't seen Shaitan, so I can't really talk much about her performance. But I actually think Jaya is it Kadam?
Kadam.
Jaya Kadam. I mean, she would have been my choice. So I thought she was just great. I actually think she was the best performance of that movie.
Of that film, yeah. I think hers was certainly one of the more rounded characters.
Yeah. And I think
it's quite
I don't think it was her best performance of this year, because she was also in All We Imagine Is Light, and she was even better in that movie.
Yeah, no, she's been slapped on, I think. I mean, I've seen her here and there, but I've never seen her being discussed in like mainstream media. So hopefully gives her all the attention she deserves.
Yeah.
I also see Jyotika in being nominated for Shrikant. I thought that was a cool nomination. She really stood out in that film. She was really
She was my favorite performance in that movie.
I'm also a little disappointed not to see Rahul Ravindran in for Jigra, because he played Muthu, and I thought he was pretty good.
I would have actually liked to see Vedang Raina in for Jigra. I thought he was great. All right, so we don't got time to talk about all of the awards, so why don't we talk about the writing awards? Because we're writers, and this is called Pages to Pixels. So I'm just going to list them all off. I noticed that IIFA doesn't do nominations for these; they kind of just have the winner. So there's Best Story Original, which went to I do not know how to pronounce this.
It's Biplab
Goswami for Lapta Ladies. And then there is Best Story Adapted. Oh, that's 3 different names on there.
Sriram Raghavan, Arjit Biswas, Pooja Ladha.
That's 4 names.
Yeah, and Anukriti Pandey.
I didn't realize this movie had so many people on just the story. That was Merry Christmas. And then there is Best Screenplay, Sneha Desai for Lapta Ladies. And then there's Best Dialogue, a bunch of them. Arjun Dhawan, Aditya Dhar, Aditya Suhas Jambale.
Yeah.
And Monal Thakur for Article 370.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like Article 370, so I'm going to take issue with that. I thought, I can kind of see the argument behind it being nominated for Best Dialogue. I also actually like the fact that they have a separate category for Best Dialogue, because I have noticed, at least from my very limited work back home, that they don't quite upload screenplays the same way we do here. It's not one person writing a draft and then another person coming and writing another draft. Very often it's a writer's room situation, and people who are good at different elements of it will take those elements and work on it. It's nice to have it be a collaborative effort.
Yeah. I do wish that they gave like nominations in this. I think it's I also think it's weird that they lump it in with the technical category.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying to disrespect the technical categories, of course. Stuff like cinematography, costume design, that is all absolutely necessary. It is just weird because I don't consider writing a technical category.
technically. Yeah, I was just going to say, I was like, I don't know if we're nearly as technical as cinematography, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah, but I mean, I'm overall, other than 370, I am pretty happy with this. I think Lap Ladies deserved best story. So I guess why is screenplay separate? And then why is it story, screenplay, and dialogue?
I think it's because sometimes a director comes up with a story and they hire a screenwriter to write the screenplay. I don't think it's like, at least again in my limited experience, that's how it's been. It's like very often, like the director will have a story in mind. It could just be the logline, or it could be like a more formed treatment, and a screenwriter will come in and turn that into a screenplay, and then somebody else will come in and write the dialogues for that. It's it is like pretty different than what we are used to out here.
Okay.
I think there's merits to it. I think there's also you have to work with a lot more people in the writing department than you have to over here.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I just noticed that it was like, I don't know, I just felt it was weird that it was separated into. But I think you could have given Love the Ladies best dialogue also, honestly, over 370.
Give them all the awards, right?
Yeah, I think other than best director, I think I would have been very happy if it was Love the Ladies for story, original, screenplay, and dialogue, and then you had Merry Christmas for
Best adapted.
story adapted.
Yeah. No, I mean I see the logic in that. Yeah.
I also just find it very interesting that you had a kind of a more liberal movie with Love Ladies winning 2 out of 4 of the screenplay awards, and then for dialogue you had a very conservative, almost
propaganda.
Not almost propagandist film. Yeah.
I mean, I really hope that the trend of okay, so there were a lot of propaganda films that came out this year, but they didn't sweep the awards, which I appreciate. I hope it stays that way. The IIFA Awards also have certain categories that we don't have in many other award ceremonies. I know you have one you want to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can get to it. I want to talk about best performance in a negative role, which is effectively who was the best villain or the best actor to portray a villain. It just feels like a very specific category. Because over here it's typically you have in the Oscars it's lead actor, actress, supporting actor, actress. I know that for some other categories they might separate dramas and then comedy / musical, but it's still the same thing. It's like lead and supporting. There's no like best villain, and actually I think the reason why I pick this category that I want to talk about real quick is because I just want to play a little game of like, what if we had a best villain category in the Oscars, and who would have won that? I think it would have been Chris Hemsworth for Furiosa, or I think it should be Chris Hemsworth for Furiosa, because I thought he
was excellent.
Yeah.
He was really, really good. I really liked his performance. I'm going to cheat a little bit with this. Because I think that if there was one of those awards here, I know Poor Things technically came out last year, but I think it should have been Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. Like that was a truly gross character, and he played it to perfection.
Yeah.
But interesting category. I will say that there are also like, and this I'm generalizing. It's not just IIFA. It's like a lot, like all of like the Indian like award ceremonies. They have some extremely specific categories. There was one ceremony where they awarded Amitabh Bachchan with Star of the Millennium Award. And I think it was for like like not the 2000s, like they meant the millennium that passed, which is quite a convenient award to have because like cinema only existed for like 100 years in that millennium.
Yeah.
I will say that I've heard some very interesting BTS stories about these award ceremonies. In fact, I heard about them in a podcast, and I'll link the podcast down below here. But basically, the stories are that obviously these are scripted, but they're also not shot live completely. The performances are filmed on entirely different days, or at least the performances we see being telecast, they're like filmed on different days, and it's all cut together. I've also heard that the actors who show up don't show up for the whole duration of the ceremony. They show up for a couple of hours, collect whatever awards they know they're going to win, because this is information that usually already, and then they leave. And then the camera crew just pieces together their footage from those few hours for the entirety of the show. So there'll be like Shah Rukh Khan clapping, for example, and it's like footage from like something else entirely. So it's a very interesting way of doing it. I also know that this is just okay. So apparently, each of these award ceremonies, they hold almost like auctions to give the contracts to companies to make their awards, right? So each year, the person who can do it for the cheapest is the one that's given the contract. So like the Filmfare trophies are not the same size. It's like you could win Filmfare like 2 years, and one of them will be like massive, and one of them will be like way smaller. Yeah,
Like
pretty interesting stuff. Huh?
Sounds like a mess, honestly.
Yeah. So Varun Grover is a writer who has written a bunch of these award ceremonies, and he was the one that kind of like was the whistleblower about all of this. And he spoke about it in depth in a podcast a couple of years ago. That's where I'm hearing all of this from. Like I said, if anyone is interested in like a lot more gossip, I will put it in the description down below.
That's kind of the end of our little bonus IIFA coverage episode. So I'm Rohan.
I'm Kirtana.
And we'll see you next time for the next episode.
Yeah, see you. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.